Hello, dear students. Today, as usual, your teacher Zainab Kamilovna with you. We will talk today about the model of teaching models, as we can emphasizing teaching models and also models of education. So, this is also the next following topic of education. Uh, what is including the education system? We covered with you education system in Uzbekistan and other foreign countries education systems we have already discussed. And today this topic we somehow talk with you about the models of teaching and models of education. So let's start in this case our presentation. What is teaching? What is teaching model? A model of teaching is a plan or pattern that can be used to shape curriculums, long-term courses of studies, to design instructional materials, and to guide instructions in the classroom and other settings. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the diagram about the function of teaching model. It formulates four basic skills, four basic abstracts, which will also formulate a complete and perfect teaching scheme, enables teachers to analyze and evaluate strengths and weakness so as to plan and implement appropriate follow-up actions, as basic guidance for teachers for reflection during feedback session, provide guidance to planners and teachers to enable them to plan and carry out the teaching process effectively. Models of teaching. Here given four basic models of the teaching. As the teaching interrelated with the learning process, I mean teaching and learning, they are parallel constructed. I mean they are detached to each other. So that's why I'm talking that the models of teaching: social, personal, behavior, information process. Information process model. Okay, types of information processing model here given. The information processing model of memory. Janus information processing model. The expository teaching model. Inquiry teaching model. And as well as taking out of from the inquiry teaching model follows to scientific inquiry model, social inquiry model, jurisprudential inquiry model, Sussman's inquiry models. We just talk each of you separately. I will try to explain them separately for you. What do our memory have? Okay, so we have three types of, let's say, memory: sensory memory compartment, short-term memory, and long-term memory. For sensory memory compartment, it includes hold a large amount of information in a duration just enough for a small portion to be selected for longer storage. Short-term memory capacity is limited. Storage duration is brief unless assisted with rehearsal. For example, we have special students. If they are preparing for their finals or for their exam, they try too hard to memory everything in order to pass their test. And then they use the short-term memory skill. After passing the test, after several time passes, they hardly remember the information they learn because their brain signals only for the short-term memory. Long-term memory, a very large storage capacity, unlimited, stored longer. Long-term memory, for example, it can be preparation which takes years, for example. I can give as an example for the applicants for entering the university, for example, they prepare through the years in order to enter the university, and they try to prepare everything and to learn everything step by step, and trying to keep the information more longer in order to pass, in order to enter the university. Information processing model of memory. So, sensory input, sensory memory compartment, action goes, rehearsing, short-term memory compartment, shortage, long-term memory, and retrieval. Information processing model of memory. Okay, here you may see in incoming information, sensory input, pass-through, sensory, short-term memory, long-term memory. Sensory memory retains information for only a fractions of seconds, but enough to select the portion of information that arrests one's attention. Short-term can hold on rehearsed information for about 20 and 30 seconds. Information can be stored longer if it's engaged under rehearsal, repetition, or memorizing. Long-term information encoded may last for weeks, months, or even years. As I told you, long-term memory belongers can memorize the things even several years passes. Here given the figure Gang's theory of learning process. This is the process model of Gang's information processing model. Environmental situation. Okay, you can see here two columns. The first one stimuli, next one implementation. Yeah. So let's look through the left hand first, and then we will go through the right hand. Stimuli, perception, sensory organs, short-term memory compartment. On my right side, implementation, internal responses, and long-term memory compartment. Okay, now let's go ahead. Here on Gagner's 8th stage of learning process, phrase and action related. Let's look through the phrase. Motivation phase, prehension phase, acquisition phase, retention phase, recall phase, generalization phase, performance phase, feedback phase. And the next column, action related, expectancy, observation, perception, selection, encoding, restoring, memory, retention, recall, research, searching, transfer, response, and reinforcement. Important aspects in Gagner's 8 phases: learning readiness, motivation, perception, conceptualization, memorizing, forgetting, learning transfer. Principle and concept are explained verbally, as well as the facts are written on the board showed on the screen. Time saving enables teachers to finish all related concepts in a short period, and pupils merely listen quietly. More to a lecturing method. Inquiry teaching model, scientific inquiry model. Here given the point of scientific inquiry model, use it to study principles, phenomena, and characteristics of scientific knowledge. Research process based on 5 stages. Here given research process, which is includes 5 stages. The first one, identify the problem. The second one, ascertain relevant information. The third one, determine hypotheses. The fourth one, testing hypotheses. And the fifth one, evaluate, interpret, and infer and conclude. While you have, as a learner, particular research product or research plan, you may do these following 5 steps. Social inquiry model. Use it to study topics related to social and humanities facts, based on activities such as observation, interview, questionnaire. Emphasizes on a social interaction process. So here given, emphasize on social interaction process, 6 steps. The first one, formulation of a problem by teacher, formulation of hypotheses by pupils. Define hypothesis. Discuss and confirm validity of hypothesis. Collect and analyze evidence for the hypothesis. Interpret and derive inference conclusion. You may here also see the Shashman's inquiry model, based on assumptions that strategies used by scientists can be used as a teaching model, especially in the study of science. Okay, here it mostly emphasizes about the science, yeah, teaching model, especially in the study of science, procedures, teacher determines, yeah, teacher explains, students are guided to form hypotheses, students use collected data to test hypotheses, discussion and making inference, and etc. The importance information processing model. Here given 4 important factors of the processing model. The first one, students are prepared with better equipment and information for language. Students are enforced with good mental exercise through different methods and approaches. Students are informed of the objectives and the learning outcomes that should be achieved. Help students to remember the information for a longer period of time. Okay, that is what I wanted to share with you about education, about the models of teaching, models of education, which includes with you. As everything explained function of teaching models separately, I explained to you separately. And also, while you observe my presentation, after the presentation in the Moodle platform, you have a true-false question. After watching, no, not true-false question, I'm sorry, matching, task matching. You have task matching. You should do this matching task, but before doing this matching task, you should watch my video very well, and also look through the presentation one more time. And then you are given 5 minutes. During these 5 minutes, you will do the matching task. Okay, dear students, that is what I wanted to plan with you to share the information. If you have some question, you may type in the Moodle platform, or you can type in our Telegram group. We have each of you a Telegram group about the question according to the topic of education modeling and teaching modeling. With this one, I want to say goodbye to you and see you next my video. Lesson is over. Goodbye.